Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Yoxman66. I am Mark. I am your entertainer and advisor on this particular video, and I like to do a disclaimer. This is about me and my mental health journey. I am not a doctor. I don't give out medical advice. I just talk about my mental health basically and the journey what I'm going through and where I am at the moment. So with that being said, I'm not a doctor out like that. I just generally talk about myself, and if this happens to help people, then fair enough. And it's as simple as that. Now, I have been told, um, people, sometimes people come up to me and say, "Yeah, you're brave to talk about it." Yes, I am brave to talk about it. I suppose if you look at it in one way or another, tech, but I'm brave because if I don't talk about it, then no one else will. Um, this is the most important about mental health or any mental health is to talk. Yeah, I mean, and the most important people you should talk to is your family, your friends, doctor, you know, anybody, friends, family, things like that. That is the most important. Don't let it become too much for you, and don't become taboo. Talk about it. Be open about your mental health. Just be open about it. The more I can get people to talk about it, the better. It becomes out in open and things like that. The government wants to sweep it under the carpet and forget about it. You know what I mean? But I don't want that to happen. I want people to come forward and talk. Basically, the more you talk about it, you'll feel better and things like that. And people say, "Well, how can you feel?" Because you do. You do. Well, I do. Every time I do one of these videos, it feels like a great big weight's being lifted off my shoulders and things like that. And also, if you do need help and you are feeling what I would say suicidal, you need to ring the Samaritans Helpline, which is 116 123, and you can get in touch with Mind Charity as well and things like that. They can help as well. So that's what you need to do. Uh, you know, so hopefully you don't feel suicidal or like that. But if you do, talk to the Samaritans and talk to friends and family. Don't keep them in because it's your friends and your family what can get you through this. I know this. I mean, all right, my family has now passed away. My mother and my dad have passed away. My sister's not talking to me and things like that. But I know I can talk to friends, and they do listen, and especially Kevin. He definitely do. He definitely listens to me, and he tries to. He does advise and things like that. But after when I've talked, I feel a lot better. You know what I mean? I don't feel worse. You know what I mean? And things like that. What's been happening this month? Well, it's been okay, I suppose. I mean, yeah, we got Freedom Day, didn't we, on 19th? I had my birthday. That was brilliant. Um, I was absolutely happy about the 19th because I did that video for Freedom Day. I thought, yeah, that was brilliant, you know what I mean? Then I got idiots on my channel. Oh, it's not Freedom Day, it's not the... You know what I mean, I was getting idiots, basically. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, it is Freedom Day. And no, you don't have to wear the mask. This is what I want to talk about as well, because we're going down, because the lead up to all of this was Boris was saying, yeah, the fourth step will be on the 19th of July. Now, me and quite a few other people were expecting this not to happen. We were expecting it to be extended until August. Very surprised that he let it happen. Really surprised. And but don't forget, he can still take us into lockdown at any time. He's still got them temporary powers, which run out in September. Now I'm expecting him to renew them because the way he's taking, because the way he wants to take the country is completely different. But he didn't. He didn't extend until August. He let Freedom Day happen. Now he said this was irreversible. A couple of ministers come out and said, "Oh well, you've got to do this, you got to do that." Well, no, you don't. And I can reverberate that around. Yeah, Freedom Day did happen. There's no mask. You don't have to wear a mask. It cannot be mandatory because it would be unlawful. So no, you don't have to wear a mask. I didn't yesterday. I was quite surprised actually because I walked uptown. I went into WH Smith's where our post office is. Walked into WH Smith's, did my parcel, didn't get one question about a mask. No mask whatsoever. I thought, oh brilliant. I walked out, went into CEX, got some games from there. Not one question. They said, no. A bloke behind counter, well, he hasn't got a mask. And an other woman behind, says, well, there's no mask anymore. There's no restrictions. He says, but she says his shop were full. I think they would. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I think if it's left up to his own decision, yeah, of course we would. If the shop were too full, I would definitely be wearing a mask. But I didn't have to. So I walked into the shop, got all that. I walked around Wakefield with no masks, and I walked into every shop. I even walked into a supermarket, and I thought that were brilliant. So that really reaffirmed my mental health that, you don't need, you definitely don't need a mask. And you don't. And I ain't going to wear one. No matter how many people come on my channel and say, well, you must do it. No, I'll do what I want. I'll make my own decision. It's as simple as that. And my decision is, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not going to do it. No chance. It's as simple as that. I've never had to wear a mask through the pandemic because I was classed as exempt. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Through my diabetes and my asthma and all my other mental, my PTSD and my anxiety and things like that, I never had to wear a mask. I was exempt. I filled on the government online form, filled it all out, and I got an exemption certificate on my phone. So I didn't have to wear one, and I don't have to prove it neither. But I did get an exemption ticket, and I was quite surprised what was covered on there. Asthma's covered, me diabetes is covered, and things like that. So I've never had to wear one. So people will come up to me, oh well, you got to do it. No, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do nothing. It's as simple as that. Freedom Day came, and as far as I'm concerned, it is Freedom Day. Now we're getting people coming to me and saying, well, it keeps pinging me every 2 hours. I'm thinking, oh my god. I says, look, the NHS app, and I did tell 20 people about this very recently. I says, if that keeps pinging you, there's something wrong with it. He says, so what do I do? Get rid. Delete the frigging thing. Delete it and that. You know what I mean? And I did say to him, I said, look, delete the app and get a test. See if you're negative. And they all went for a test and they all come back negative. I said, there you go. So you ain't got COVID. That's going to be a pandemic. And what's happening is, with this app, because you can be stuck at home and someone else can get it next door and your phone can ping. And things like that. And you haven't been out. So get rid of the NHS app because you don't need it. Get rid. Because the government are going to try and use that to take us into fourth lockdown. And people say, you can't say that. I said, yes, I can. Because if the infection rate is high, or according to the NHS app, the infection rate will be high, says they'll use that data and take you into a fourth lockdown where it's not needed. And then I was getting people saying, well, all hospitals are full of COVID patients. Well, Wakefield's not, Dewsbury's not, Leeds is not full. My mate's in hospital at Leeds Infirmary. I did go visit him, and his ward's in it, but well, there's only 2 people in that ward. All beds are empty. So, no, there's no COVID patients whatsoever. I mean, I've even talked to doctors and that in that hospital saying, no, we're not at full capacity. And I showed them something, and they says, well, they're lying. So, you gotta understand, BBC News, all the BBC News media, LBC, even TalkSport and Talk Radio, are lying to you, basically. When they say hospitals are at crisis point, no, they're not. And I've talked to quite a few doctors and that, and they definitely assure me. I've been in Wakefield Hospital recently. I've had to do for eye scan. And no, it's not overrun. So, BBC and NHS doctors down London are lying to you, basically. You know, because they want to keep in lockdown. They don't want to work, basically. They want to keep in lockdown. So, they're definitely lying. And so, in a way, mental health, or my mental health, takes a big hit, really. When we heard about this, saying, oh, well, yeah, you can still be like, I'm thinking, no, because Boris says it was irreversible. You know what I mean? And if he's, don't forget, Boris Johnson has said irreversible. And it's his fault. Now, let's not forget this. It's Boris Johnson's fault that he's created the biggest mental health crisis in this country what's ever been seen before. And I'm telling you, there hasn't been any bigger mental health crisis until now. And he has created the biggest mental health crisis. He's got blood on his hands, people. And I'm telling you this. The suicide rate has gone through the roof. You don't hear about it on mainstream media. So people say, well, it's not on news, so it can't be happening. Well, it can be happening. There's people, and I can tell you this, and I will repeatedly keep telling you this, and I am telling you the truth. This is not fake news. This is the truth. There's people down London jumping off tall buildings, committing suicide, because they don't know what their future holds. And they're in that mindset, suicide. And don't forget, this is where, so the suicide rate's gone through the roof, especially with people and young people. Don't forget, Boris Johnson has created the homeless as well. There's people who can't afford the rent, so the landlords are chucking them out. Now they become homeless. And Boris Johnson has created all this. He hasn't helped people at all. He says he has, but not properly. Not the help what they really need. And then you've got, like I say, you've got the homeless situation. And what else have you got? Oh, the unemployment situation. Unemployment's not down. Unemployment's way high. It's a lot higher than it's ever been. So, you know what I mean? Even me, when I go for an interview, there's people before me. You know what I mean? And I've been told, how many they've interviewed, or how many they are going to interview. And I've been told I'm like number 100 or something like that out of 10,000. You know what I mean? Only one can get the job. So there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. But that's what it's becoming like. And that. And if you're not a box ticker, then you're screwed, basically. It's as simple as that. Because you got all this, what's going on around us. You got the pandemic. You got everything else going on around us. So let's face it. And then you've got people saying, oh, well, the country's racist. No, United Kingdom is not racist. I disagree with that completely. But this is mental health. Mental health doesn't discriminate. Anyone can get mental health. If you're black, white, Chinese, Pakistani or Indian. Or even if you're from Russia or Poland, you can get mental health issues. Mental health doesn't discriminate. You know what I mean? And don't forget, I didn't choose mental health. Mental health chose me. You know what I mean? To take me down this path. You know what I mean? You don't just make it up, like these famous actors are making it up. The one famous actor, oh, I got PTSD. I'm thinking, why is that? And she was worried. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, how can I put it? It's hard to say. She like was saying, oh well, all lockdown was so traumatic. I got PTSD. It's a lot of bollocks. PTSD, you do get it from trauma. People in the army who's been in Gulf War get it, PTSD. I got PTSD through a car crash because something happened in my past, and then that trauma brought it back. So, PTSD's been around for a long time, even though it hasn't been medically diagnosed, since 20 years ago. But it's been around a lot more. It were around in World War 1 and 2, PTSD. PTSD's been around in 60s and 70s, and 80s and 90s. It's only recently, I think in past 20 or 30 years, that it's been medically recognised, as post-traumatic disorder. You know what I mean? So there you go. But actors, some, a lot of actors are making it up, saying, "Oh yeah, I've got PTSD because I can't work." A lot of bollocks. They don't want to work. It's as simple as that, and that's why they make it up, and that makes it harder for the people who have been genuine as well. So I don't agree with all these actors making it up in that way. Me personally, but my mental health, it were up because I have, like I say, July was a pretty good month for me in that respect. It did come down when ministers were saying, well, we're making this mandatory, and I'm thinking, well, you can't do that. It would be unlawful. Now they're on about making passports mandatory, COVID passports mandatory. Well, I'm afraid the government will come to a sticking point with that because we can't have that. You can't force anything on the UK people. It says that in the Lisbon Treaty, by the way, because the Lisbon Treaty does say you cannot force anything or any medical onto anyone. You can't even force an injection onto them and things like that. Because if they did, it would be classed as unlawful, and the government would be breaking the law. And and that's in the Lisbon Treaty. So I have done my research on that. So Boyce is talking, in my mind, a load of rubbish. Now, when he run about COVID passports for nightclubs, it'd be more than nightclubs, but when he was talking about it, and then this says, Speaker of the House says MPs wouldn't have to have these passports. They would be, how did he put it? Exempt from having them. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. So, so all you lot in House of Commons are saying that we've got to have them, but you don't? That's rubbish. That's absolute crap. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have to have them, we don't have to have them. And it's as simple as that. And I would recommend people, don't bother with COVID passports. You know what I mean? I don't know any business who would be bothering with them at the end of the day. This is, it's complete rubbish. You know what I mean? We're free. We're on the fourth step. Do what you want. But use your own intuition to say, well, hang on a minute. It's getting a bit crowded. I use my common sense. And that's what you do. Boris doesn't think we've got it, but I know I have. And I make my own risk assessment. It's as simple as that. And things like that. So, yeah, we are free. We can do what we can do what we want to do, basically, until government reviews. He does say on that fourth step, it will be under review. So, under review, well, that means he could take us into a lockdown at any time. I don't, I'm expecting it, but we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, if he keeps locking us down and he keeps locking the whole country down, I mean, we're becoming like North Korea. And I'm sorry to say that. I would never thought I would say anything like that, but this is where Boris Johnson is trying to take us into somewhat like North Korea, communist, basically, where their government tells you what where the government tells you what to do. Now we're not that kind of country. We have never have been, and I'll tell you now, people, it's time to stand up for your rights and freedom, because if you don't, you're going to lose it. I'll tell you that now, and things like that, and that will create more mental health problems. And the government doesn't care about this, by the way. He says he does. He doesn't care at all, one iota, about mental health, because if he did, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. So, this Prime Minister doesn't give a monkeys about anybody but himself. And same as the MPs, they don't care about anybody but themselves. It's as simple as that. And this is why I get people coming to me and say, well, I says, did you vote for Boris Johnson? And a lot of my friends and people who talk to me will say yay or nay, and I say, some have said yes, some have said no. I said, well, you shouldn't have voted for him. And it's as simple as that. Just don't vote for him next time round when he's going to need your help, and that, you know what I mean? This Prime Minister is a complete idiot as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't know what he's doing, or what I do know what he's doing. He's running the country into the ground. And then he's going to blame us for it, and then he's going to try to become an authoritarian government. hence 1984. Think about it. Really do think about it, because I know I've got people who are panicking, thinking this is what's happening. And yes, it's very similar to what's going on in the world at the moment. Most governments are doing this. Even on the Olympic Games opening ceremony, the commentator says, because they went higher, faster together, freedom, and then he says, oh, they have to put the word communist in that list. And I'm thinking, no, they don't. So there you go. So what would that mean for us if that really happened? If our government turned the tables and told us what to do? Well, it's already happening. You're already getting a taste of it. The taste is TV would be state run. It would all be run through the government. And the government will only allow you to watch what they want you to watch. Hence the BBC. BBC is being told by the government, do fake news. So that's what the BBC's doing. They're only being told what to do by the government. So is ITV, so is Channel 4 and 5. LBC's doing the same. All the radio stations are being told to do the same. And that's what they're doing. They're doing the same. There's not one independent radio station out there telling you what it is, how it is. Telling you now. It's all fake news. I get the proper news because of YouTube. And there is people out there who do give you the truthful facts and things like that. I watch Prime Minister's Question Times on a Wednesday. Oh, it's Wednesday today. I watch Prime Minister's Question Time to get the facts and figures about what's happening in the country. Bozo doesn't know what he's doing. He completely... I mean, a Labour MP stood up in House of Commons recently and said, look, I think it was Diane Buckley who said, Boris Johnson has been lying repeatedly, over and over and over again. And I completely agree. He has. But in the House of Commons terms and rules and conditions, you cannot, believe this or not, you cannot call anyone a liar in the House of Commons. Because the Speaker of the House says, I'll give you a chance to apologise to the Prime Minister. She says, I'm not apologising. I've told the truth. He's lied over and over and over again. And she was dismissed. She was told to leave. What is the point in having an House of Commons if you can't have a big debate about it? You know what I mean? That's what it was there for. That's what it was designed for. So, if the Labour Party says, well, the Prime Minister's lying, then it's up to the Prime Minister to come firing back. Don't look for protection from the Speaker of the House, because he's not supposed to even get involved with that. You can't just say, well, you can't call anyone a liar. Well, yeah, you can. We all know Boris Johnson's lied. Of course he's lied. We all know that. But, there you go. And this is why my mental health is up and down, up and down, because the country's up and down all the time, and that. Then I'm getting people coming onto my Twitter, all because I've happened to say, Lewis Hamilton's a good guy. He really is. He does a lot for charities and things like that. But he said on Twitter recently, I put £20 million into a new project, and he's wanting to represent the unrepresented. So I said, how are you going to represent the homeless? Because the homeless is unrepresented. And I got nothing but shit from that. You're racist. What am I racist? I'm not racist. I'm not saying Lewis Hamilton is doing something wrong. I agree with Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, but the unrepresented is the homeless. And if Lewis Hamilton is not going to represent the homeless, which is the unrepresented, then who is he going to... Oh, I know who he's going to represent. He's going to represent BLM, isn't he? Things like that. But the homeless are unrepresented. People say, it's up to the government. Well, everything cannot be up to the government. It's up to people like me and you to help these people. And it's as simple as that. I do my bit towards the homeless. I really do. And that. But there's nothing else what I can do. I can raise money through charity, which I've done loads of times, and that, I'm trying to help. But there's people who are homeless, and the government have got a big responsibility, especially to ex-soldiers. I mean, there's a lot of vets on street, and government don't give a shit. They want you to fight for the country, but as soon as you've done that, oh no, we don't want nothing to do with you. So now they're homeless on street. That is terrifying. It really. I don't know how Boris Johnson or Lewis Hamilton can sleep at night, falling over these people. I just don't. But that they are unrepresented, by the way. They're not represented by the government or by anybody. They're unrepresented. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? But I've been told, I've been told on countless occasions, especially on Twitter, keep your mouth shut. We don't want that kind of view on here. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. I haven't said no wrong. And I've stuck up for myself, and I always do. And even when people come onto my Facebook, oh, well, you're talking crap. No, I'm not talking crap. I'm talking common sense. You know what I mean? People's state of health, mental health, is very important to me. It really is. There's a lot of people who do gaming who have got mental health, and they do a lot for the charity. But I don't see them talking about it like I do. So this is what I do. I come onto my channel and I talk about mental health. And if people don't like it, well, it's my channel. I'm sorry, but it's my channel, and I'll do what I want. You know what I mean? If I want to talk about my state of mental health, then I will. How it's affected me. And I tell you now, through all this lockdown, it has affected me completely. It really has. And if my mate were here, he'd tell you the same. And come, I have a complete personality disorder through all this. And it's on my medical records and everything. So, there you go. And, it is absolutely madness. There's some days I can sit here and think, well, I don't really want to do it. That's not the attitude to have, but that's how it takes me sometimes. Luckily this month it hasn't taken me that way. This month, what I've heard from the government's made me bolt up and take note, and I'm thinking, the government are not helping people with the mental health crisis at all. No, he's not. He's not helping anybody. And Boris Johnson has lied again, because Boris Johnson said on his election night, I will help the mental health crisis. He's made it worse. He hasn't helped. He's made it worse. There's a lot more people now going through mental health problems than ever before. Some people do, like I say, some big celebrities are faking it. Katie Price is one of them. Things like that. So don't go there. You know what I mean? I don't want people who are faking it. People who are genuinely going through a mental health crisis need our help. And it's as simple as that. And that's how I feel right now. It's got to be done. And this is why I talk about it. People say, oh, well, you shouldn't be talking about it. It's taboo. No, it's not taboo. Having an attitude like that where, no, you don't talk about it, that's wrong. You cannot shut people up about it. Well, you won't shut me up about it. I'll tell you that now. I will keep talking about it until I'm blue in the face. And it's as simple as that. It's not wrong or taboo to talk about mental health, any kind of mental health. If you're going through problems, then you're going through problems. And if by talking to someone it helps, then fine. But if you don't talk about it, you could take your own life. And people say, well, that's impossible. No, it's not actually. It's a state of mind. It's how your mind works. It's a state of mind. It's a state of play. People who commit suicide, in reality, they don't want to. They see it as a last resort, as an escape. Let's put it that way. So they see it as a last resort because no one's listening to them. Oh, they don't talk about it, they keep it to themselves, and it's got too much. They bottle it up inside, and they think the only way out is to die. And that's how that goes. But what I'm trying to do is get people talking before they bottle it up too much. So bottling things up is not good for you. It can heat you away on the inside, but by talking about it, it can help a lot. You know what I mean? I don't criticise people. People who have got mental health, they found what they call peace with religion. That's fine. That's fine. That's their way of dealing with it. It's not my way of dealing with it. My way of dealing with it is coming onto YouTube once a month and talking about the mental health crisis. And that's what my mental health journey, and that's what I'm doing. But the more and more I hear from government saying, oh, well, we're doing everything we can. No, you're not. You're not doing everything what you can. You're not using your ministerial power to help the mental health crisis at all. You think by putting a band-aid on it is going to help. No, it's not. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And no government, no Prime Minister, no MP out there is listening. You know what I mean? They are not listening. And people say, well, if they're not listening, why are you banging on about it? Because I'm banging on about it because I can, and I want to. It's as simple as that. And the more people who see this video, will be better off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, we have to make government, our government, stand up and listen. If we have to beat a big drum to do this, then this is what will be done. That is, you know, it's a big mental health crisis caused by Boris Johnson and his government through stupid lockdown. As simple as that. You know what I mean? And he has to take responsibility for it. But he hasn't. He hasn't. You know, he's tried justifying the lockdown, but he hasn't took responsibility for it. And this is why people are calling out for a public inquiry, which is the correct thing to do. You know, Labour Party are calling for it. Everyone is calling for a public inquiry. But they don't want one. And the only reason why they don't want one is because they know they're going to be found out. Boris Johnson stands up in Prime Minister's question time and he lies. He really does. He's like to a country, he's like to a nation. He was supposed to get Brexit done. He hasn't got Brexit done at all. He's done a soft Brexit. He hasn't done a proper Brexit. But there again, he's a Conservative, so would you expect a proper Brexit? No. But he promised a proper Brexit. We didn't get the Brexit, what we all wanted. So don't go banging on and telling me that Boris Johnson is the best thing since sliced bread, because I tell you now, he is the worst Prime Minister than Tony Blair. He's worse than Tony Blair, completely worse. He has committed crimes. His government ministers have committed corruption and things like that. You know what I mean? So that's why Matt Hancock had to resign. Boris Johnson didn't sack him. He was forced to resign. He had to resign for what he did for what he did. He had an affair, but he had to resign because he didn't want to get found out about the corruption what he committed, which they've all done through this pandemic. Boris Johnson says no one would profiteer in this pandemic except for government. The government has profiteered. I'll tell you now. All ministers in his cabinet have profiteered, literally. And this is what they don't want to be found out about. This is why they don't want a public inquiry. It's as simple as that. But we need this public inquiry to root out the evil and things like that. And to say to Boris Johnson, why aren't you doing anything about the mental health crisis? Why aren't you doing this? Why are you giving us a better mental health service? Which we do need. We do need something better. We need a lot better mental health service and things like. And why are you trying to wreck the NHS, the National Health Service, and things like that? I am sick of hearing people who are, you know, like Nigel Farage. I'm sick of hearing Nigel Farage banging on about, well, it should be this, it should be that. No, the NHS should not be privatised. The NHS should be as it is, where you walk in and it's free at the point of entry. That's what it should be. I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh, well, the NHS needs to be. The only thing is wrong with the NHS, it's run by too many bureaucrats. It's as simple as that. They have a manager for a manager. Think about it. It's run by too many bureaucrats. The NHS needs to keep as the National Health Service. It doesn't want to be privatised. Because if you privatise it, like they have in America, only the people with money can get health service. And that's what it's not meant to be. The NHS was set up for all. It was set up for everybody. Poor, rich, and whoever needed it. It was set up for everyone. And this is how it should be. The National Health Service should stay as it is. For everyone. Not for the chosen few. It was set up for everybody. For the conditions at the time, there were bad conditions. And the NHS came in and cleaned it all up. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So, I want to keep the NHS in our hands, in the public's hands, and things like that. We don't need to be privatised at all. I'm sick and tired of hearing about this. You know, saying that they're going to private. Oh, yeah. We'll privatise, make people pay for it. We're already paying for it. We're paying through our national insurance for it. You know what I mean? That's where it comes. That's why you pay national insurance. It's for national wealth. You know, and things like that. Government have enough money, but they don't put it all in. But then they should do. It should be directly linked. All this national insurance should be directly linked into it. Everyone's got a national insurance number. And that's why we do have a national, it's a national insurance. Everyone's got an hospital number. Not everyone's got a medical card, because I don't have one. But I do have an NHS medical number, which I do carry around with me. I say, Well, that's my medical number. I don't have a card. I've never had one. Yeah. So there you go. And we don't pay for that service. It's free of point of entry. It's as simple as that. But I know the Conservatives are trying to change it. And, they're trying to say, oh, well, private companies do the cleaning, but it's not privatised. It's not where we have to pay for a separate insurance for that. But that's what they're wanting. They're wanting the same system as what they've got in America. And I think that would be a big mistake. And that would, not help people at all. The NHS was set up for the National Health Service was set up for everybody. Poor, rich alike. Everybody. Simple as. And that's how it should stay, in my opinion. And that. So, like I say, we have an uncaring government who don't give a monkey shit about our mental health because he's done nothing towards the crisis at all. People say, you're going, oh, well, we have policies. Oh, he's a great laid-back prime. It's completely rubbish, Prime Minister. He's not taking anything serious. Yeah, he wants to be the Prime Minister, but he doesn't want to do the work. What comes with it? He doesn't want that responsibility. That's why he keeps laying it off. That's why he keeps passing the buck. Oh, well, you deal with this, you'll deal with that, and I'll just sit here and look pretty. That's not how a Prime Minister should be. It's as simple as that. Now, like I said, Boris Johnson is the worst Prime Minister ever in future times. I'm telling you that now. Completely worse. And I think, in the end, the Conservative Party backbenchers and the 1922 committee will see that. They will see through him. Might be late in the day, but they will see through him. I've already seen through him. He lies on top of lies. You know what I mean? Boris Johnson needs to have a good memory because the many lies he's told. He's already said he hasn't lied, but he has. He has lied. He's gone into this knowing what he was going to do. When the pandemic came and he got them temporary powers, he knew he wasn't going to give them powers back. Oh, you know what I mean? But they need to be given back. Can't keep doing what he's doing. It's as simple as that. He's literally driving the country into the ground. He's running the country into the ground. And the more he does that, the more uncertainty we get, and the worse that people who've got mental health, it will get worse. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? We're already being told by NHS professors in London, oh, well, if it continues to go like it is, people over 50s won't be getting treated. How dare you? How dare you say that you cannot treat anyone over 50? That is disgusting. You know what I mean? It's all wrong. I mean, Boris Johnson's made sure through this pandemic that cancer patients didn't get treated, heart patients didn't get treated, people over 80 didn't get treated because they died with COVID. Not because of COVID, with COVID. There's a big difference. They had complications, and every COVID death, I said, oh, they've had complications like pneumonia and things like that. So it's not just COVID. It's symptoms with COVID. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So he's lied about the numbers there. Oh, millions of people have died. No, they haven't. I think when you come down to it, the numbers what have been given for us could be slashed in half, at least. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there who haven't died of COVID. They've died of something else, but within COVID. They died with COVID, basically. But not because of COVID. No one in this country has died fully of COVID. It's as simple as that. And I say that with great optimism. It is not as bad as what people think. I mean, do you really, honestly, and you've got to, this is how I settle my mental health down. This is how I settle my brain. Because my brain races. I'm thinking, oh, well, if it's that dangerous, you shouldn't be going out. And I'm thinking, well, no, I should be going out because I've got to do my shopping. But also, think of it this way. We got told in the beginning, COVID is so contagious, if people went out in big numbers, we could get it. And I'm thinking, well, if COVID is so contagious and people are going to be dying of it, highly, I haven't seen any body bags being piling up. I haven't seen any temporary morgues being made, which they haven't, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But in this country, it's not as bad as what we think. Because if it was that bad, you'd see biological suits disinfecting street every night. After when we've gone to bed, they'll be out disinfected. That doesn't happen. There's no one in biological suits. There's no biological bins for your face mask to be put into. So the government can't be that serious about it because they're not taking the steps what I thought they'd take for an highly contagious disease, and that is disinfect the streets, and that's what they should be doing. But they hadn't even done that in Italy, and that's where it was. That's where the worst ones came from, wasn't it? Italy. Even Italy hasn't done that, and they've had higher deaths than us. So think about it. It's not that contagious, you know what I mean? Because we're not seeing. If it was that bad, and if we were getting millions of people dying, we'd have body bags piling up all over the place. I'll tell you that now for definite. And we're not. So at the end of the day, and I mean, and this is it. This is it. At the end of the day, the government have lied. They fixed the figures to what they want you to see. And this is what people forget. The figures on the TV can be fixed, and it can be fixed very well. It's like the unemployment figures can be fixed. If they want you to think it's worse than what it is, that's what they do. And it's as simple as that. So, yeah, this government's lied. And that's what they're doing. So this is how I calm my mental health down. Well, there's no one in biological suits, which there isn't. There's no one walking around in biological suits at these COVID test centres, which there isn't. There's normal people doing the thing, but they're not wearing biological suits, so it's not that contagious. It's already been downgraded by scientists to below common flu. So there you go. But Boris is not listening to this. Boris is just on his own little track, fixated like a little rabbit. He's in the headlights. I'll do this and this and this, and he's going to continue to do this and this because he's got the power to do it. You know what I mean? But we need to stop him. People of the United Kingdom need to wake up and say, enough is enough, Boris. We need to stop him. He cannot keep doing this to us, because if he does, he's going to try and drive us down into something what we shouldn't be, and we could be like North Korea within years. So I'm sorry, people, but that's how I feel on my mental health journey. This one. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you're new, and if you want to hear more than this, so subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell icon in it all. That will let you know when I'm putting up another video. And please also share the video to your friends and your family and to other social media like Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And please comment below. But keep it within subject. Don't go off the subject. Don't call me all the names under the sun. Just keep it within the contents of this video. So if you're talking about mental health, keep it within that. And if you haven't got anything to say, apart from slagging me off, then don't say anything, because I'll just get you removed. A couple of people have already been removed for doing exactly that. So, this is how we go. So, I have an Instagram page. So I do have an Instagram. It's all one word, Yorkshireman66. I have a Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Yorkshireman66. Again, all in one word, at Yorkshireman66. I have a Facebook group called it's facebook.com/Yorkshireman66. So one word, Yorkshireman66. It's easy to find. Plenty of people have found it. And if you want to become a member or follow me on any of them, you're welcome to do so. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now. But I can't press my button.